CinePals.
I just finished the screening of Fall Guy at the IMAX headquarters. Very fancy. It was my first time there. Super cool. And I'm so happy that I got to see Fall Guy because from the moment that I heard about it and then following the Oscars bit between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, I was like, oh my God, these two are gonna have insane chemistry. And guess what? That they did. This movie, Fall Guy, so fun. I really feel like they excelled in multiple categories. There was a full-on romance, full-on comedy, full-on action, and a full-on murder mystery going on. With that many different aspects of a movie, sometimes you're like, oh, I hope that they're not pulled in too many directions, and tonally, where are they gonna end at, and how's it gonna work? I was so impressed with the tone. I felt like there was kind of a movement of the tone depending on what sector of the movie we were on, whether it be the romance or those comedic moments or just the action-driven moments or that murder mystery part. But it all felt like the same movie, but had different tones. And I think that's really, really hard to achieve. There were so many different parts that I loved about this movie, but if we're just breaking it down into kind of these different sectors as I've laid out, as an action movie goes, the action sequences were amazing. Definitely, I'm sure it was one thing in pre-production when they were all like, we're gonna make this love letter to stunt people and the entire stunt division. We cannot mess up the stunts. Like, let's just nail this. And they absolutely did. And you could definitely feel that love of the profession just in the art and the craftsmanship that is stunt work shining through the entire movie. I know David Leitch was originally a stuntman, and you could just feel that homage and that authenticity behind it, and these like little jokes and the character arcs and different points of attention to the stunt people on set and within the movie. And that's what I think helped play to this meta aspect that they had going on. The movie's very meta. It's a movie about making a movie that is so fun, but also can be overdone or just too much. And I just feel like it was just right with the meta. And especially being a lover of movies and future filmmaker myself, I just felt like they handled it with such care and respect and love, and you could just see it shining through, especially for a group of people, that being the stunt people, who are oftentimes forgotten about because when they're doing their job good, you don't even realize they're there. They are just so unbelievably talented, and they're what makes these massive moments in movies that are some of our favorite of all time come to life. To see an entire movie dedicated to them was just awesome. Moving on to the romance part of it, it's my favorite part of the movie. I think the chemistry between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling is undeniable, but it's so fun and so quirky. I also feel like there's this very real, true to date love story being told about how characters interact. Sometimes you're watching like a romance or a rom-com and you're like, why don't you just say this? Why don't you do this? That's how you feel, right? And this movie, I was like, oh my God, yes, you said it. Oh yeah, you did it. Like, it just felt very real to how people actually interact with each other and how people who are like in love with each other. And there was just like this pure love between the two lead characters. I don't know, at least for me, I just want to see that on screen more, where you just have this joyful love that obviously has its bumps and battles and you have to get through it, but they just dig each other and there's nothing weird about it. And I love that. Like, these characters just really loved each other and obviously had to go through their shit to get to the good shit. I just love the specific romance being told and how they played with comedy and realness within it, and then how they utilized the story to tell a bigger story. That's what I liked about all the little divisions of the movie. The romance enhanced the comedy enhanced the action enhanced the murder mystery. Like, all of these parts work together to make a great project from start to finish, if that makes sense. In terms of the mystery mystery. I don't know, maybe I missed a trailer or wasn't paying attention too much, but I like didn't realize what the crime was gonna be or what the like real action part would be more than just him being a stuntman. Like I thought that was gonna be the action, then making a movie as a stuntman, so you see the action within it. But there's so much action within the story. Murder mystery part was very interesting and fun, and there was some twists and turns in it. There was some parts where you're like, oh, okay, I saw that coming, but it wasn't in a like annoying way. It was in a very charming way, and I thought that all the actors just did such a great job with it, and the action choices and the stunts done within those sequences were so cool. Some of the action sequences were just truly amazing. There was a Q&A with David and his wife and producing partner Kelly McCormick, who were so adorable, and it was just really cool to see, like I said, an on-screen love that felt very authentic and adorable, but then to see this real-life couple in an industry that is so tarnished, especially with its relationships, and you hear about all these nightmare stories about different people who worked together and then got together and then didn't end well, but with them you're like, oh my god, goals. They finish each other's sentences, they're talking about the making of this movie, and you could just see the collaboration between them too, and it I think really shows how much that affects the end product. Not always, but a lot of times. And you could tell like they infused the story with so much love and respect to the stunt community, and that really showed through the stunts and the different action work. And they were saying that they wanted to break some records while they were doing some of the stunts, which I think is so cool because there's so much to do when you're on set, and then them to be like, why don't we just like break some records while we're here too? Okay, be the coolest people ever or whatever. So they broke at least one, I think it was 2 different records. One of them was a car rolling one, which I think they rolled it like 8 times. I just can't even wrap my head around, but it looked so cool. Another cool aspect about the Q&A after Collider was held in, it was really fun to see. They were talking about Fall Guy has original IP. It was a show in the 70s, I believe. If I'm wrong, sorry. And I didn't know about it. Apparently the character was a stunt man who was also a bounty hunter. When they originally got the script, they were gonna go through for like a detective noir feel. As things progressed and then Ryan Gosling signed on to the film, they very quickly changed the tone of it, and they were saying that they kind of tailored it, Ryan's character, to a character that only Ryan Gosling himself could portray. And to me, that was exactly how I was feeling when I was watching it. I was like, oh my god, Ryan Gosling is killing this role, because Ryan Gosling is an action star, but he's also becoming a comedic icon. I was watching the movie and it was like the first time I've ever thought this, but I thought his comedic timing is kind of reminding me of Will Ferrell, which is insane to even say because Will Ferrell's like comedian god. It's hard to even put him in the same sentence as other people's, let alone someone who's not a comedian by trade. But damn, does Ryan Gosling deliver comedic lines like nobody's business. Everything about this movie is just really fun. When I heard the pitch, I was like, oh, okay, this seems like they're just gonna knock it out of the park. They have the cast, they have the story, they have this unique take, and they're kind of have this meta telling of the film industry. This is gonna be fun. Then I saw the promotion and I'm like, another thing about Ryan Gosling, not to just blow so much smoke up this guy's ass, but he's really got it going on. I mean, if I'm making movies, you want Ryan Gosling, not only because he's an incredible actor and everybody loves him because he's so damn charismatic, but he also is a promotional genius. Like, I know that it was the entire team behind Barbie that made Barbie so expansive and then well received following after it, but it was like getting people to the theaters. Their promotion was insane and continues to be insane, so much so that it moved into the Oscars, where we saw that bit with Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling, and you were like, oh my god, like, this is so fun. And then a few weeks ago he does SNL and his entire monologue is dedicated both to Barbenheimer, but he brings on Emily Blunt, and then the entire rest of the monologue is about about Fall Guy. You just have all these people getting excited about this movie in a way that I feel like we haven't done promotions for movies in so long, because we keep hearing these discussions of like, the action star, is the action star dead? Is the big A-list actor dead? Like, does that not exist anymore? But I don't know. I do feel like there's some actors, and Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt as an extension through this press being two of them, that I feel like are gonna get people to the theater because of how they're promoting it. Also because of their track records just in the past, both of them, and coming off the heels of Oscar season for both of them. So this movie just knocks it out of the park for me. It's such, I mean, awesome family movie. I would see it with my friends. I would see it with my hubby, which I did. This movie is just like a go-to movie where if you're just looking for a great time and a great movie, this is it. It's like not hard on the brain, just awesome. That's how I feel about it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, vote this up. I'm Steph Sabraw, and I'll see you later. Much love.